Hi everybody, it's Saturday. What is it, like June 10th or something? It's the weekend, Saturday. No hangovers. Even though I felt I drank a lot last night, but I stopped early and I drank one of those hydrolytes. I drank like 3 cups of water, and I did stay up late though, because I got a little sick, not like full on sick, but I got a little sick like Wednesday night, Thursday, and then Friday was a little left over, but thankfully it didn't like debilitate me like it usually does. So yeah, I just kind of feel like I dodged a bullet there. Like, oh man, so it's been a while since I did a video. I feel like I've gotten a lot of junk from different sources. I have a book review, if I can remember. It's called Tiger, A True Tale of Survival and Vengeance, or Vengeance and Survival, by John Valent. There's this podcast called Tooth and Claw, and they talk about animal attacks, and they said they were thinking about doing this in the future, and I was like, well, I want to read it then. So fortunately the library had it. I checked it out, and I read it. It's like 500 pages, 509 pages, 8, 9, 11 pages. Not 10, not it's not 510. And I don't read too many like nonfiction books, because it just seemed like, they're gonna be cold and dry and boring, and just like schoolwork or something. But that song, The Indifferent song, that book, The Indifferent Stars Above, was great. And I think that's the last like true story nonfiction book I read. And this one was great too. So in Russia and Siberia, 1997, a Siberian tiger, what other kind of tiger would there be in Siberia, killed a hunter named Markov. It said he had found its kill, and he took some of it and he shot the tiger. So it was seeking vengeance on him. It like stopped him. It followed. It knew. It actually kind of knew where he lived in his cabin. He had a little. Well, he didn't live there. It's a whole story. But he would stay in this little cabin in the woods. And while he was out hunting, the tiger went there and waited for him. And when he got back, it killed him and ate him. And it didn't just kill him. It like everything that had a scent on it. It destroyed. It even like described how he had like a ladle, like for drinking water, like a metal ladle, and it chewed it up. And I was how do you chew up something metal? But I don't think about how powerful tigers are. And this book really drives that home. Like they say there's no monsters, but if you put everything a tiger could do into like draw a monster, and you'd be, oh, that's like a super monster. And then it killed another person, ate him, to where even it said like they just found a couple of bits of meat and they put him in a little bag. And when they went back, they were like, "Where's Ivan?" No, he's right here. So the main character of the book, I think his name was Trush, and he's just man, this is also like a crash course in history lesson of Russia and the people that live there. It's just amazing. I also think like if they had just written about, if this guy John Valent had just written about the tiger, maybe like about 200 pages. They had to fill it out with all this like history of Russia, the people that live there, and the main characters in the book. So there was a few times I was like, well, let's get to the tiger. But this guy Trush, he's like the head of this tiger. Oh, I forgot what it was called, because I had to return the book. I was gonna check it out again, or just like, write some key character names, but someone else requested it, and it's due today. So I was, well, they should read it too. It's really good. It's cool that someone else is going to read it now, right after I did. But he was this head of this tiger organization. They kind of protect the tigers in the taiga forest, the Priore area. It's a huge area of forests, lands, and snow, and ice, and desolation. And I think there's only like 400 tigers left in Siberia, which is very sad. So, he's trying to stop poachers. It goes in the whole thing about poaching and how China and the Chinese. If you've ever known a Chinese person, and they work really hard, and everything they, I guess that's the bad thing too. Everything they do, they just do it to the extreme. And I think they're like the most. China takes in, like, people are poaching. They buy, like, I don't know, like 80-90% of what's poached in the world goes to China. And these Russian people that live in Siberia, that live out in this area, they have nothing. They're so poor. Everything that Russia has been through. Reading this book, it seems like Russia has been to, like, since Russia began, they've been through like 3 or 4 apocalypses that we didn't even know about or care about. Like World War II, before that, Perestroika and Glasnost in the 80s. They've just been beaten down, and they still survive. So, and people, like, as I was reading it, I was when you think of, like, when you say, oh, you don't know how good you have it. I didn't know how good I have it living here in America. And people that complain about living here, like, dude, we'll send you to the Prioria and see how you do there. Like, Russian people, like, there's like a band that I listen to, Sacred Reich. They have a song that says you can't judge people by the government of their land. And I was like, no, Russian people, they don't care about, but from what I've read in this book, they don't care about who's ruling. They're just trying to survive any way they can. So one way they do that is by poaching tigers or whatever creatures they can kill. And then it's so hard to get a rifle in Russia. Some of these hunters are using. So this takes place in like 97. Like one hunter is using a rifle that was like 100 years old, and like his grandfather's rifle. It's just so hard. There's all these tests that you have to pay for, that you have to go to where they are to take them, and sometimes they're not even open. So, and then someone says, like, to live in Russia, you have to break the law to survive, just every day. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with the tiger in here. There's like characters, like, there was one dude, I don't remember his name. He was, I don't even, now I think about it in the context of the book, why he was brought up, but there was a Russian guy. He fought in like the Polish Civil War, or when Poland fought Russia like 100 years ago or something. So Poland lost. He was a war prisoner. He got sent to a prison in Siberia. The first 8 months of his sentence was him walking to Siberia. And I was like, it's insane. You walk for 8 months. So he got to this prison. Then he got pardoned. Then he became like the manager of a gold mine. Then he became like a sailor. Then he settled down with he got married, had a son. Chinese bandits killed his wife, like gutted her and hung her from a lamppost. They kidnapped his son. He chased the bandits down, killed them all. Then he started his own little settlement fort and raised wildlife like deer and sheep and stuff. Then he like killed a bunch of tigers because they were eating his livestock. And I was I want to see this movie of this guy in this tiger book that even it was like just a page. And I was like, who's this guy who's lived this crazy existence? There's so many stories like that in this book. Towards the end, it kind of grated on me a little because I was like, okay, we're just going off on tangents on these other people. I want tiger. I want these beautiful creatures. So yeah, this Trush guy. I mean, also yeah, like he was in his job, like protecting the tigers. He'd done so many jobs before he got this job, but he always loved like being in the wilderness. But he talks about like getting in fights in his job, car chases, shootouts. He never killed anyone. He would just shoot their cars, blow their engines out, shoot their tires out. And he's like, it's fun. Like, I like doing stuff. I like doing that. I like confrontation. I like fighting. And there's another guy like that who wound up in Siberia. He was like a soldier. He'd seen a lot of combat. He became a cop. And again, the same thing, like beating up people, chases, fighting, shootouts. And he's like, I like it. It's fun. And I was like, normal people, that's not fun. Like, to get in one shootout, or like if you like to fight, maybe chasing people, it'd be very stress inducing, be hectic, be crazy. No, like I would never want to do stuff like that. But to these Russians, and then this other guy, I can't remember his name, like the soldier who was a cop. He said it got to the point where he was like, he'd be doing his cop thing, and someone would walk behind him, and before he realized. He'd have them on the ground. He'd be beating them up. And then he realizes, I can't be around people anymore. So he moved to Siberia to work with tigers and poachers and stuff. And I was like, man, these Russians are crazy. They're like more than Rambos or commandos. They're just like, they actually like enjoy doing stuff like this. And all this, you do get to learn about tigers. One of the craziest things I thought is like a tiger, Siberian tiger, can exist. It can be out in like 50 below zero, like, and they're fine. They'll sleep under a tree, and they're it's just like, I mean, they're not human, but they're just superhuman. Like, I guess Wolverine, the character, could survive in 50 below. Spider-Man, Daredevil, Batman. I guess Batman would have like something that could warm him up, but he'll die I don't know, in like 30 minutes if you're a human. Out in like 50 degrees below zero. Their roar, and I've heard this before, but I guess it can paralyze you. One guy, they even say it's almost like you think it's like a avalanche or some like natural, or an explosion or something. One guy who worked with he was a scientist working with animals in Siberia. He heard a tiger roar, and he's like, man, something's gonna get messed up. And it was him. He turned around, there was a tiger just staring at him, and it had just charged him and bit his knee, chomped on his knee, like started eating him. And he looked it in the eyes, and he's like, there's just like, he's like, just hope it's quick. But he had a partner who chased the tiger off, and his story could be a movie too. But yeah, tigers are just amazing. They're like, wrote about how like they can feel that part in the back of your neck. They just puncture it and they'll kill you, which is great. Like, that's what's cool about tigers, I think. Like, bears will just start eating you. I think wolves will eat you, but like the big cats, they'll kill you first. They want you dead. They don't want to struggle with you or fight with you. And they're just born and bred to kill. And kill like as quick and efficiently as they can. So that's, yeah. Maybe it doesn't even hurt. And they grab you with their claws, that's gonna hurt. And like they're so big and strong. But tiger will just dispatch you, like I think, yeah, like that fast. So and then of course this tiger that they're after, he's a big old male, he's been shot a bunch of times. And they just talk about how tigers are like, I guess they're just smarter than you would give them credit for. Like they hold a grudge, they're mean. Also, that reminds me of that comic book, The Badger, where the badger can talk to animals, and he was in Vietnam, and he talks to a tiger. He's telling this girl, like, yeah, I talk to the bugs, I talk to the monkeys and the tigers, and she's, oh, what do tigers say? And he's like, there's just always like, oh, don't mess with me, I'm mean, I'll beat you up, stay away from me. He's like, I didn't like talking to them. And I was that's probably what a tiger would say if they could talk. They're just like, stay away from me. And then they hunt the tiger down and they kill it. But he was a big old male. He ruled his land. They call tigers the czar. And talk about how like magical they are and the myth that Russian people feel about tigers. And I always thought tigers are like a tropical animal, and they are, but actually they can live anywhere, in the mountains, snow, anywhere. They're like, they said they're like people. They can adapt to almost anything. And I was like, man, and I was reading the book, I was like, man, they're gonna be gone soon. Hopefully not in my lifetime. I hope there'll be tigers. Like they say there's more tigers in Texas than anywhere else where tigers live naturally. So, Tiger, a story of vengeance, survival. I really liked it, but towards the end, it just wasn't focusing on the tiger until the very, very end. So I kind of got a little disillusioned with it. But the end, I mean, it's a true story, so all this really happened. It's really sad that they had to kill the tiger, but then when they killed it, dude, that's like a movie too. Like, it's almost unbelievable because, well, I won't spoil it, but I'll rate it as just a 4 out of 5 because I really like tigers. I've always liked them since I was little. Monkeys became my favorite animal because they're so human and they're so like us, and I'm monkey-like. But tigers are just like, I think probably the most beautiful, majestic creature. Their fur, their stripes, their eyes, their fangs, and their claws are just. I mean, they'll take down bears and eat them in Siberia. So yeah, hopefully you have some interest in this and maybe you'll read it. Or look it up on YouTube. There's a bunch of stories on YouTube. So I'm going to show, now I'm going to show some other stuff I've gotten. I go into the library a lot. I got the Blackest Night saga. Started reading it. I remember when this came out, but there was so many crossovers and tie-ins and other. There's so much. This cannot be just the Blackest Night. But reading it, it's by Jeff Johns. This is really good. It's pretty dark. Got more Jeff Johns in this Green Lantern, Volume 1, Sinestro. I got Thunder the Barbarian, complete series. I got Terrifier 3. I I got V, the complete series. I'm really looking forward to watching this. I got the A-Team season 1. Dude, I remember watching A-Team when I was a kid. And now looking back, I'm like, it's pretty cheesy, but dude, I've watched like 5 episodes. There's some really good stories in here. Like one, there's like a SWAT team in LA, I think. Like they took different members and they use them like to do hits on. Like there's a corrupt chief of police, and he just wants to take out whoever he wants to, and so he's assembled this hit squad from SWAT team members. And I was like, dude, it's like a John Carpenter movie. And one of them is Dean Stockwell. So Dean Stockwell is in it's an episode of A-Team. Yeah, A-Team is really good. I got Ghidorah. Oh my god. I also got I don't know where they are, but I got Godzilla Tokyo SOS. I got the original Godzilla vs. King Kong. Then I got some comics. Got Space Usagi issue 2. Just can't go wrong. The art, storytelling. I got Wolverine number 5. Cool cover. I mean, I didn't even realize it's already on issue 5. I read the first one and it sucked. But it's Wolverine, so I'm still gonna buy it. I remember buying this Captain America annual and just being so blown away by it. Then there's a new Deadpool Wolverine. Dude, and this is good. Like, in the first 3 pages, I was like, this is like some good writing. I think Benjamin Percy. I don't know if I've read any of his stuff before, but man, he is a good writer. Well, at least this is. But I would like to read anything. If I see his name on it, I'll buy it again. If he just sucks, I'll stop. But he's just funny, clever, good action, kind of brutal, and he changes Deadpool. And he's not the constantly joking, like, vulgar guy. And I was like, that's good for a change, you know. Just every once in a while, you know, change it up. And they always want Deadpool to be, you know, the funny, vulgar guy. So, see, I don't know how long this is, but I hope you check out Tiger or Thundar the Barbarian. I'll see ya.